Welcome back, everybody. I'm going to go over some PC news today. Again, the 9060 XT did launch today. So, we'll go over a bit of that. Wow. Already on eBay for $1,500 or $1,100 US. People are wild. People are wild. A little bit of a new setup here, so hopefully you guys like that. A little bit of new setup. Trying to figure out how I want to get everything set up, to be honest. So, probably going to take a little while, but we'll get it done. We'll get it done. Canada needs to stop doing whatever it is that it wants to do here. You know, it's gonna do whatever it wants to do, apparently. I do need to get new lights. One thing I do need to get. So, looks like Lenovo has a back to college deal going on. From June 10th to August 17th, 2025, Lenovo's back to college campaign offers discounts on AI powered laptops, gaming PCs, and accessories. Featured models include the Yoga Aura Edition, Ultra 7 with OLED displays, and the Legion LOQ Slim 5 AI PC and IdeaPad 5 2-in-1 series. The promotion also includes a buyback program for select products, so that's kind of nice that they're doing something like that. PC market challenges. Despite enthusiasm for AI PCs, companies like Dell and HP report sluggish demand due to rising costs, tariffs, and economic uncertainty. While the commercial PCs market remains relatively stable, consumer hesitations persist, influenced by factors like inflation and lingering effects of pandemic-era purchasing. And yeah, prices have not gone down at all. They're just getting worse with the tariffs in place here. Things are just getting worse for prices for PC hardware and everything else, to be honest. Brutal. So some gaming and events. So Summer Game Fest 2025 scheduled for June 6, 2025 at the YouTube Theater. The Summer Game Fest will feature over 60 partners, including major publishers like Nintendo, Xbox, and PlayStation. The event will showcase upcoming games and hardware announcements. That will be tomorrow, June 6th. PC Gaming Show 2025 set for June 8th, so 2 days after that, June 8th, 2025. The PC Gaming Show will spotlight over 50 games across PC platforms, including Steam, Deck, Linux, and Mac OS. The event will feature world premieres, exclusive announcements, and developer interviews. So that's kind of nice that they're doing that. And we'll talk a little bit about the CAM2 memory. So the CAM memory and motherboards, the reason why CAM2 has not really been adopted is because of motherboard manufacturers not really making a whole lot of these motherboards to support CAM2 memory. There has been issues when it first came out last year, and yeah, it hasn't really gotten better. And there's only literally a few motherboard vendors that actually have made a couple of these motherboards, so there's not a whole lot of them to even get a hold of, really. So that's why there's no worldwide adoption onto this, because yeah, limited motherboard compatibility, unfortunately. For some people, it will be great. Again, you get one one CAM2 memory, 128 gigs of up to 8,000 megatransfers per second and higher. So that's pretty crazy for the speeds and the density, all on one CAM2 memory module that you put onto a motherboard. Very small, sleek design too. It's just there's not a whole lot of motherboards that actually support this. Unfortunate. AI PC adoption and security. AI PCs integrating neural processing units in NPUs are projected to account for 43% of PC shipments in 2025, totaling approximately 114 million units. It's a few units. While they offer enhanced performance and reduced cloud dependency, experts highlight new cybersecurity challenges, including risk of AI model inversion and data poisoning attacks. Businesses are advised to implement robust security protocols and employee train to mitigate these risks. So that is something not great to hear about with the AIs and the NPC or NPUs, I should say, the neural processing units. All these AI PCs having these kind of security risks. It's not a good thing to hear about. So Nvidia ARM-based gaming laptop initiative. So this is for laptops and AI PCs. Nvidia is reportedly collaborating with AI and MediaTek, big companies, Alienware, Dell, to develop an ARM-based gaming laptop chip combining an ARM CPU with NVIDIA's Blackwell GPU architecture. The launch is anticipated in later in 2025 or early 2026, aiming to enhance Windows on ARM gaming performance. It'd be nice to hear. How's it going, SD? You calling me an NPC? Nah, man. Microsoft Surface Pro 11 released for business in early 2025. The Surface Pro 11 features Qualcomm Snapdragon X, and apparently Qualcomm's coming out with a new chip as well. It's supposed to be 30 to 50% faster than the last Snapdragon chip that they had. And yeah, that would be a crazy performance gains if they actually do come out with this new chip, but they are currently working on and has not been implemented yet. So the Qualcomm Snapdragon X series CPUs with built-in NPUs for AI tasks and Intel Core Ultra options. It offers up to 32 gigabytes of RAM, 1 terabyte SSD, and a 13-inch 120Hz display. So that's pretty nice for the Surface Pro 11. The RAM, 32 gig is kind of a standard nowadays. 1 terabyte SSD, not so great in my opinion. A little bit more would be better. A 13-inch display, I mean, if it works for you and it's not going to be super costly, so it works. 120 hertz though, more than enough for most people. So very nice there. So some major hardware announcements. So AMD Ryzen Threadripper 9000 series Zen 5s. The announcement at Computex 2025, AMD's Threadripper 9000 series introduces up to 96 Zen 5 cores, supporting DDR5 of 6400 megatransfers per second. These processors are slated for release in July 2025, so next month, targeting high-end desktops and workstations. These will not be cheap. By the way, these will not be cheap. These are Threadrippers, so you're looking at $5,000 to $15,000 to $20,000 per Threadripper chip. So insane price there. Nvidia is still making 50 series. They just kind of supply by 2030. That's what they're saying. That's what the rumors are saying, right? 20 to 30%. Some rumors that I have read recently, they might be cutting the production by 45%. On the 50 series GPUs, 45% on some places that I'm reading as well. So I don't know. I just don't know. Cache capacity interference, yep, that's where they're making 90% of their revenue anyways. So why would they not want to make some more money, be able to sell more of these AI-based CPUs and GPUs that they're doing for data centers and or other companies that are wanting this? And there's various companies like robotics, car manufacturers, again, data centers, workstation type places everywhere that are wanting these AI based CPUs and GPUs. Yeah, because people, yeah, why would people be complaining about the price since it's making them a lot of money? It's saving them a lot of time. So that's why they don't complain. If anyone is to blame, it's gamers. Yep, there's no making those integrated. Yeah, I hear you there. It's very true. I mean, it's in a way, why complain about these GPUs? Again, they had some issues at the beginning, but that's RMA. Very easy to do an RMA, get a new GPU, brand new spanking GPU, for free, not free, but RMA. If they had issues with it, like missing ROPs, there's no issues with that. If you have a burnt power connector, it could be issues with power supply. They'll take care of your components, like MSI with their new warranty that they have. It covers all PC components, so it's nice. But there's also many manufacturers that cover actual components as well, if it is the actual power supply. But there's many things. It's just people complain about these prices, but you got to realize they're using new hardware. That's why I keep trying to tell people they're using new hardware. It is faster running than AMD. It has, again, new hardware into it. So that way, later on, when the drivers get updated and games get updated for this newer hardware that runs faster, and that the performance gains are just going to keep increasing over the years or over the months, as we have noticed already in the past few months on these cards, that the performance gains has only been upped by 5%. That's insane, in my opinion. It's great. Nvidia gives you people the gift of multi-frame gen, and you split it on cryo and fake frames and press. Yeah, and they do. And the people aren't complaining that AMD is doing frame generation. Why are they not complaining about that? Why? Why are they just complaining about Nvidia? So why are they not complaining about AMD doing the exact same thing? Again, AMD copies other manufacturers like Intel and Nvidia. So why do people not complain about the same thing that AMD does as other manufacturers? Oh, because it costs more money. You're also getting more performance. You can also buy a cheaper GPU on Nvidia's lineup that have the same performance as AMD on their higher lineup. No, I hear you there. I hear you, man. People do complain. People do complain about the frame generation. And basically, they are saying, well, no more GPUs for you, or because again, Nvidia sells more graphics cards than AMD. They do. AMD does, or Nvidia does sell more cards than AMD, even though it seems like AMD is selling way more cards than that, but they don't. Nvidia, even though they're cutting the production by maybe up to 45%, they're still going to probably sell more cards than AMD. Unfortunately, it's unfortunate for AMD. So it's not like it's a big thing, but I mean, also price demand could go up. Like there's a lot of things that can go on with this as well, because a lot of people might want these 50 series cards. Now, since Nvidia is cutting the actual productivity of them, prices actually could go up again. It's true though, people do complain. And a lot of people complain about Nvidia with the frame gen, but not a lot of people complain about AMD with the frame gen, which is pretty wild. I just want to know what they're doing with the digits, because they're calling DGX Spark, which is not the digits, not the full sized style. And they're partnering with Asus. They already made one with Asus, but it's not the same. So the actual problem with NVIDIA said, if reviewers don't run their tests with MFG results versus non-frame, so multi-frame results versus non-frame results from older cards or AMD cards, they won't get. Oh, where do you hear this? I would like to search this up there, bud. I did not know about that. And the reviewers have. I have not noticed reviewers have completely changed their ways of testing out graphics cards and reviewing them. NVIDIA press manipulation. But it's true. The reviewers have completely switched over and Nvidia press manipulation. The way they used to test it, and now it's completely different. And I don't like the way they're doing the testings. Oh, is this by Gamers Nexus from 2 weeks ago? Some bigger reviewers too. Again, bigger reviewers as well. And they're only testing one CPU. And like I said, with the 5090, they tested all with the 9000X3D with 6,000 megatransfer per second RAM. Some of them did CL26 and most of them did CL28 kits. That's fine, but they only tested with that. And then they're showing that the 9000X3D does bottleneck the 5090 in some scenarios. So why did they not do other tests? Why did they not use the 1400K? Then a month later, someone actually that, had 1400K and all that tested it out and it does not bottleneck it. But the reviewers never said anything about that. They just tested it all with the exact same CPU. All the reviewers had the exact same kind of tests and review samples. So that's just really odd. And the way that they're actually doing the actual test is not the same as what it used to be, is what I'm saying. It's just not the same. So is that like the large reviewers are like, it's true. And yeah, they can buy their own samples. They can buy their own samples. Why? What's it really matter? What's it really matter? Even though they buy their own samples or given their own samples, the test should still be done the same way. Nvidia is facing nasty allegations. It's even on MSN. It's even on MSN. Wow, it's wild. It's even on MSN, man. That's crazy. Because if you get your own samples, you can get reviews out before launch. No, that's not how it worked. Do you not know about the 5060? Or Nvidia's 5060? They couldn't even do the review on it because there was no actual drivers for it before just before the release, or after the release. After it got released, that's when the actual studio and game ready drivers were actually put in place after the release. Oh, can't. Oh, my bad. That's true. So my bad. I didn't read that proper. Yeah, can't. Yeah, you can't. You can't do it until after the release. Because there's no drivers. There's gonna be no driver support for it. You get review drivers too? Yes. They're not like game ready studio drivers, but they are fairly close to the drivers that will be used, yes. Up to 2 days nowadays. And then before they had it for almost like a week before the actual launch. Now it's like a couple days, yeah. Wild. This is on MSN. Nvidia has long been a company well known for its powerful graphics cards, but what many people probably don't know is Nvidia also appeared to be applying pressure to media outlets to push a certain narrative to consumers. This report manipulation in media said to be the latest tactic from Nvidia in a string of anti-consumer practices and dishonest statements. Details about Nvidia's media manipulation tactic comes from Gamers Nexus, which recently reported on Nvidia's attempt to manipulate reviews of its newest graphics cards. In the editorial, Gamers Nexus Steve Burks leaves nothing on the table, revealing what happens to a very problematic company culture where Nvidia bullies its partners into doing what it wants or else. I still have to see this, but I haven't seen it. I actually haven't seen that. How's it going, couple? See you. Some can play games on their RTS Pro. Why not? Of course you can play it on. It has the display. If the graphics card has display, you can play a game on it. You can use workstation GPUs and game on them. It's just they're not optimized for gaming. They have more other style cores and stuff in place for it to actually do it. Yep, it's $10,000. Some places are selling it for $13,000, but the MSRP is about $10,000. It's a time to sell some 8 gigabit cards for people to see the negative reviews. I mean, there's so many negative reviews about 8 GB cards, but for some people, they are just fine still. 8 GB cards are still just fine. I'm on an 8 GB card still, works great. 30 series 8 GB card. There's nothing wrong with it. Works great. Lots of frames in the games I play. Ray tracing's fine. Not the greatest ray tracing for 30 series. It's 30 series, but works just fine. After the last couple of driver updates, I've actually got a little bit performance increase, which is kind of nice. Yeah, the Pro. No, not the Pro 6000. Not the Pro. The 6000. I don't believe the Pro has even came out yet. Oh yeah, sorry, it's the X version. It's the X version that hasn't came out. They're gonna be coming out with an X version here soon. Teeth pulled. No. No. All my teeth are broken though from over the years, but not. I've never had a tooth pulled. I mean, I pulled my own teeth out after they broke, but no. Actually, I think that's the Bauer who tested our RTX Pro in games and is faster than 5090. Yep. Yep. It's still not even technically the full size chip yet. Back to my right cheek. Nope. I am using the studio driver to hopefully clarify some stuff, but I didn't know it sounded. Does it sound bad? Does it sound bad? Um, how does it sound bad? Hope it doesn't sound bad. So, Nvidia Bowman's Partners is nothing new. If you have been around PC gaming long enough, you may remember a little company called EVGA. EVGA used to make some of the best Nvidia GPUs available. Yeah. Along with a couple other brands that made top-end cards. And no longer make GPUs after falling out with the company over Nvidia's poor treatment of partners. This happened years ago, so the kind of behavior is not new from Nvidia. No, this does appear to be the first time Nvidia has been openly accused of Nvidia to force media to provide certain information. In this case, Nvidia is very keen on reviewers, putting a large emphasis on multi-frame generation, 4x, and DLSS4. Sound is all right? Good. So why are people calling the 9680 XT a mid? What? Yeah, it's a budget entry level card. It's not a mid range at all. It's for 1080p. It's not even for 1440p. It's for 1080p. You can do 1440p on it, and depending on the game and settings that you're using, but it's an entry level budget card. Budget card. Is it really budget? Not really. How's it going, Rob? I said it can do 1440p, but it's made for 1080p. Let's see what they're saying on the website here. Yeah, it can do 1440p. And it does beat out the 7600 XT. In some cases, it does reach the 7800 XT, which is pretty good. Pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. But I got a little bit of new setup here. Most SSD 23 from reviewers. I mean, why not? If it has enough VRAM and it's able to actually do it, why not showcase that it can do 1440p? But from what I'm seeing, it's like F124, Dragon Age, The Velguard, God of War, Ragnarok, Assassin's Creed, Horizon Zero Dawn, Resident Evil 4, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, and Doom Eternal. Yeah, it's more aimed for 1080p and like 1440p. How's it going, Alpaca? Doing my first PC case swap as I watch this. Nice. What PC case you putting in? What hardware? Oh man, I'm not really feeling that for switching from my GT 630 at like 6 years to a 49. Yeah. It's not going to be Nvidia. What's your next GPU going to be? Sub 200 doesn't exist here unless, yeah. Yeah. Sub 200, good luck. Even good, decent entry level cards like what Intel did are 250. And still, those are decent cards, right? This is still decent cards for what are you going to be doing. They can also have spare PCIe lanes too for NVMe drives. It's kind of nice as well. Indeed, if nobody quits, that is the reason no, well, I mean, it's like, yeah, they might quit. They might actually, just stop making GPUs for consumers, but they're cutting the productivity of them, and who knows what that might do. It shouldn't be bad on the Intel side. Should be just fine on Intel. And Intel is going to be coming out, hopefully, to another leak, another new card. AMD's king anyway, eh? What do you mean by PY Torch? I don't even know what PY Torch is, buddy. AMD's good for a lot of things, but you still have a lot of catching up to do to even be near Nvidia for a lot of stuff. Again, AMD's able to sell these cards a lot cheaper because they're using older hardware, older components. This is why it's a lot cheaper, not even a lot cheaper in some cases, unfortunately. So they're still making a good amount of money because they're using older stuff that they either have a lot of stock of, or just because it's older, they're able to buy a whole bunch of it for cheaper. The Python library for AI supports CUDA, but not AMD's. Really? Yeah, just, yeah, not as many bottom. I mean, crazy. There's a toolkit for it. Oh, fancy. It's just not even, you can say, as many people have bought them. It's just AMD's not as big of a company as Nvidia or Intel for CPUs and GPUs. But for GPUs, Nvidia for CPUs versus Intel, right? But even though they're selling a lot this year, it still doesn't even compare. Nvidia sold more 4060s than all of AMD's cards that they've sold so far this year. All of them. And that's just with the 4060s. Change from pre-boot, ROG, i70. 14900K, I'm gonna say, or 14700K. Sorry, 47 Super 32 gig, right? Change Sama V60 case and Z790 motherboard. That's nice. Oh yeah, yeah. They're not known for the thermals. Well, actually, they're known for the thermals, and now they're on Ryzen moment for the GPUs. Yeah, they're gonna be improving a lot of stuff. Hopefully, the Zen 6 is as good as what a lot have been talked about for it. I mean, AMD is doing good. AMD's, like I said, I've been very impressed what AMD has been doing over the past 2 years, especially this year with their improvement on the encoders on the GPUs. Um, the power and all that, it's gone up again. It's gonna go up. Power has to go up if performance goes up. The prices could have been a bit better on their 9070 XTs. It could have been, but all in all, it's actually not half bad. It's just it could have been $100 cheaper, and then their other cards could have been cheaper as well because they are using older hardware, and that's where it kind of sucks because a lot of people are still buying them, so the prices of them are going to be really high still, and in price to demand, right? So the prices of them are just going to keep going up or stay the same. Nothing's going to change. It's not even scalpers. It's not even scalpers. I'm saying the actual MSRP price. The MSRP price could have been about $100 less on each of the cards because they are using older hardware, older memory chips, older everything's older on it. So why does it cost as much as it does? And again, the performance isn't there. In some cases, it's not that good. They did really good on their ray tracing, as in it's a lot better. It's not twice the performance that I used, like that they said it was going to be. Again, there's just companies fibbing about stuff, but the performance of ray tracing isn't twice as good as what it was previous gen. It's like maybe 65% better. It's not twice as good though. You can find stuff at MSRP price, but then you got board vendors, and then you got retailers of those cards. So they're gonna want to make money off of it too, especially since laws have changed about MSRP pricing, in that everything can be mocked up depending on price to demand. It's just a lot of things have changed over the past 4 or 5 years. Unfortunately. LC 960 at 349 MSRP price. Gotta love it. For the 8 GB for the same model? Where? What? Where did you secure this GPU? Because I want to see this 8 GB card on the same model for more. I want to see a Newegg. Hey, no way. I gotta see this. And it's that's wild. Intel resets perfectly expand VRAM. It's not exactly it expands VRAM. And to be honest, it depend on what you're doing it with. But yeah, it probably will do larger files if you do the resize bar. Oh my god, it's taking forever. Search. Search. Why are you so slow? They only did that. They're not still doing the rebates. They did that at the beginning with the tariffs. They're not doing that still, are they? Are they actually still doing it? So I heard what I read was it was only for a certain period of time due to the fact of tariffs and other reasons. They can't force retailers to. Nope. And why do you think they did no reference cards? Because everyone will be buying a reference card and they'll probably lose money, and or board partners will stop doing deals with AMD because they're going to be buying the reference cards. And probably because they can't make enough of them in-house, whatever manufacturer is actually going to make them. Why is Newegg not working for me? Holy crap, systems with a 9070 XT, some of them are like $3,600. Was $4,500? What? Well, today's launch is, yep. So yeah, they're only doing it at the beginning. They're only doing it at the beginning. Why? I heard that they weren't doing it like that. I mean, good for getting your name out there more, but I mean, is that really good? Not really. Okay, it's not letting me search up the 9060 XT on Newegg for some reason. I don't know why. And of course it's going to be a lie. It's not working for me. It's not like I don't believe you. I just wanted to see for myself. Is that would the next generation AMD GPUs be called? Yes. Yes, that's what they're gonna be called. Be like the 10900, 10800. That's what they're gonna be doing. Not the 10,010. It's gonna be like 10800, 10900, 10700, whatever they're gonna do next year. That's what has been found so far in IDA 64 is roughly the name scheme that they have for them. Gabby goof. Yep, that's my cat, Gabby. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they're gonna be calling like the 10700 XT, and they could do like an XTX version, or they could even do an XTX version of the 9070 here soon. You don't know. Yeah, Dave is happy. 42% humidity, 25 degrees Celsius in here, so he's happy. We got a happy Dave today, guys. We have a happy Dave. You need to make another coffee. You comfy? Yeah. Just wish I could search up the 9060 XT on Newegg. It just won't let me. It literally just like completely ignoring it. I just didn't know they were still doing the actual rebates for the cards. I thought they only did that at the beginning with the 9070 XT. So it's kind of good, I guess, in a way. So that way, if you're an early buyer, you can get the card at MSRP. Certain models, some other models are going to cost more, of course, but certain models are going to be MSRP. You tired? I ain't go to sleep. I ain't go to sleep. No. No. What do you want? Well, are you hungry? You hungry? Okay. Just one sec here. I have a bad memory, but the 49s and 59s are banned for the China Middle East, right? Certain models, but China did get some, but 4090Ds and 5090Ds are in China. Not exactly China exclusive. You can technically get them around the world, but 4090 and 5090Ds, or their dragons, that's what is in China. And they are cut cores, cut AI, and all that. So they're not full sized. Yeah, the course is always a way around something, right? I mean, they're not exclusively allowed in China or made in China or shipped to China legally. Not really. Yeah. Sorry. I like how Chinese turn their 49s to 968 VRAM cards. I like that, eh? Yep. And they also did single slot 3090s, 48 gigabytes for AI workloads for people, all on a custom AIO. Single slot. They're single slots. So literally, like, they're super thin. They're super thin, all custom made. And they're selling them for $8,600. And all custom like that. I mean, not terrible. $9,000 worth of 59s were taken out of the box of factory in China, replaced it with 3 bags, resealed the box, and shipped them off to Micro Center. No way. No way. Really? I gotta search this. I'll give you 1 second here. Over $90,000 worth of 59s have been replaced in a box by crossbody backpacks. Oh my God. Oh, that's awesome. Oh my God. I did. AIOs are superior since they have AI in their name. That's crazy. What? I've been doing the news analyst for you. Well, I mean, I've been really busy, so thank you for helping me out there. I didn't even know about this. I didn't even know about this. In 1 sec here, and I'll make a window for this. And we'll do a little bit of that. There we go. Been busy with the move, man. Okay, I'm sorry. I get my cat all set up in the place too, because big move for her. Is that on Discord that you did that? Is that on Discord? Because if so, I have not checked Discord yet. So yeah, here's the over $90,000 worth of RTX 5090s have been replaced in a box by crossbody backpacks at just one Silicon Valley Micro Center. Yeah, I have Discord. You can't do links in that on YouTube. It won't allow you. Only I can do links in that. Discord in the link description. We do have a Discord channel, and yeah, it seems to get bigger and bigger every day. Lots of people in the Discord channel. Try to help out where we can. check that out and give me 1 sec. Oh. Yeah, do have Discord, Patreon, Instagram. It's all there in the link description. If you want to help out the channel via PayPal, there's also in the link description as well. That was me saying, what the? He's a peach. Oh, yeah. 379 for an 8 gigabyte model. That's wild. That's wild for the exact same model. That's wild. Why? Who? Where? How? That's wild, man. That's actually wild. That's wild. That's actually wild. Give me 1 second. What? You're full? You left food in the dish. Oh, you left food in the dish. Hi. So yeah. What started out as just another gamer finding their brand new graphics card missing and replaced that box by some random pieces of junk has turned into potentially a big headache for Zotac and compromised Chinese factory shipping not RTX 5090s out the front door. There's another lawsuit coming out because Intel had a lawsuit. There's 2 people that stole $857,000 worth of stuff from Intel. A woman and some guy. Last week, one Redditor posted about the poor luck in having been sold a brand new Zotac RTX 5090 solid OC card from a new Micro Center store in Santa Clara, only to get it home. Some 4 hours later, discovered that their dream GPU was in fact 3 crossbody backpacks inside the... Wow. Wow. An inevitable regret of not having opened the box in the store, or at least captured on unboxing and video, was washed away the following day when they returned to the store. The staff had actually seen their Reddit post already and had found 31 other box up backpacks with Zotac RTX 5090 packaging. Wow. Some people don't earn such amount of money in their lives, and here's a single scam. Yeah. Yep. So the second update post details following. Trip thanks staff Santa Clara Micro Center for the efforts and the speed with it to replace the OPs. That's nice. Video cards follow up with the Micro Center was told that they had tracked it back to a supplier. They now believe Zotac cards are in question were compromised by the Zotac China factory before they're even shipped to the US. Wow. I mean, potentially more than $92,000, almost $93,000 worth of graphics cards. I've reached out to Zotac for comment update on assessment of scale problem if we hear back. Yeah, if you hear back. Wild. Wild, man. Yeah, they got their banned 5090s. Yeah, I hear you. That's wild. 90,000. I mean, that's both $90,000, but I mean, a few GPUs there. That's a few. Hey, there's a few, like 100 and it's over 100. How's it going, Frame? The title? Nvidia's cutting down on their production for the 50 series graphics cards. Some are saying 10 to 15, and some are places saying up to 45% of the production for the 50 series graphics cards. Unfortunately. I posted to link in news to page to wellness for yourself. Yeah, take a look at that, man. I'll definitely take a look at that. Wild. Turn off the GPUs? Nah, probably not. Maybe if they're even doing it. Again, like they don't make a whole lot of money off of their consumer graphics cards. It's all their AI data centers and robotics and stuff like that. That's if they do the supers. If. Yep, they're shipping the capacity AI cards. Yup, all 50 series graphics cards, and they've already stopped making 40 series. So they're slowing down production for the 50 series cards and just working on the AIs. So H100s and high-end graphics cards made for AI. Pretty wild. Yeah, I love it. Yep, 30%. Some places are saying up to 45%. So they definitely are going to be cutting supply. Supply and demand will go up after that too, probably. That's very unfortunate. People for prep, why they were, what do you mean? Where's that? Yeah, rumor. Just rumors, not even leaks. They're just rumors. That's why I haven't really covered it. Yeah, I remember also, beginning of this year, they even put it on multiple different platforms that they weren't doing anything above the 9070 XT. So it's just a rumor. Yep. They're working on their 3 nanometer process nodes. All for ray tracing. Super resolution algorithm. AMD's copy to 2025 keynote addresses announced an overview of FSR4 implementation. FS4 introduces a new AI machine learning based super resolution algorithm that's more accurate and vastly improves image quality at every performance preset. Wow. All three features being introduced by Project Redstone aim to achieve technological priority with Nvidia DLSS 3.5 and DLSS 4, particularly in AAA games with ray tracing enabled. Neural Radiance caching sees an AI ML model continue to learn how light bounces in a scene to predict and store indirect lighting, which reduces the performance cost of ray tracing. So yeah, it's just another software. Yeah. Doesn't mean prices are going to come down because of it. That's pretty cool. It's all settings too. They can be 1080p low, 1080p high, 1440p low, 1440p high, 4K, you know. Oh. Machine learning. Which means it's going to use up VRAM. Yep. Yes, it does. But it's not. It's a software, right? Hardware accelerated software. Did you get it working, bud? Sorry, I had to leave yesterday and go grab some stuff. Yeah, you probably still notice it. Maybe some people won't, but you probably will notice the latency. Especially if you don't have high refresh rate. Yeah, 60 hertz. Your GPU, whatever you're using for GPUs, only given about 65, maybe 70 FPS, and your frame time is like 30 to 50 nanoseconds, and yeah, it's not good. Sorry, milliseconds. You'll notice. You'll feel like 45 frames per second. Yeah, you might not. There are people that will. Sorry, some people won't, but I can tell from 120 to 60 hertz. I can tell 45 frames per second. With frame time, it increases. It basically makes it so that way the actual frames are lower. I still think you will, because even on controller, I did high polling rate, high speed with controller whenever I did use it. It was really fast. So if you move around really fast on a controller, it should be the same. Mm-hmm. Compare with nice high refresh rate RAM, or not refresh rate, but frequency RAM, sorry. I don't use controllers anymore. Yep. I talk about the same thing. What you visually see is what you visually see. Can't change that. Yeah, and used it said frame gen. Oop. And upscaling does probably give you a little bit of a late frame time. Increases frame time. Not ignoring you. I said if you pair it with high refresh rate memory, it'll help performance too. Make sure you put high refresh rate, low cast latency. Got yourself a decent system. I don't know, is the actual single core better on 265K versus the 9900X 3D or even 9900X? Oh, not bad. Yep, I was talking to you. I replied to everybody. Oh, good. Yeah, I haven't used a controller in so many years, man. So I don't use controllers anymore. Let's see, we're seeing here. 2,288, pretty good. It's 2,300. Yeah, it's quite a bit faster on single core performance versus the 9900X. Jason, how's it going, Jason? Good afternoon, man. Spoken PS controller was the last straw with Sony. Just sold you jet ski. Hopefully you got a good price for it, but you did. Hopefully whoever bought it, happy with it. Use them with your retro games? I don't know if I would use it with my retro games. It's nice to have programmable keys. It is, it is. I hear you, man. Yep. It needed a new home, a new livable home that's going to get some use. Good to hear, man. Actually make the controller better. What was the last one that they came out with? Wasn't it like a little bit bigger than their originals? Oh, I hear you there. SD, yeah. Yeah, I guess you're right about that. But I would want like the original style controller, which I'm pretty sure you can get to. $100 cheaper? Nice. Told you it was gonna be cheaper. I told you it was about $100 cheaper. If not a little bit more than $100, but it should be around $100 cheaper or more. And single core performance versus the 265K versus the 9900X is big difference. Now we're talking like 500 extra points. Just by coding for dummies, what? You'll learn probably a lot off of it. It's just implementing the coding for what you want to do. It's implementing coding that can be the tricky part. Learning the coding's not too bad, depending on what platform you're going to be doing. Python is really good. C++ is actually good too, but Python is good for beginners. No. Compared to AMD, AMD's catching up to Intel with a single core performance, but not the same. Unfortunate. He's a coding tutor. Wow. Probably knows his stuff. That's why I suggest certain PC hardware for people that just strictly game. AMD is great. And AMD CPUs are great, especially the X3Ds, right? But if you're doing more than just gaming, if you're streaming and gaming off same PC, I'll point you in the direction of Intel, more cores, so that way things can be utilized better, and you're not going to lose a whole lot of frames while gaming, and you don't want those stutters. C#. Now I should probably learn some C#. I started learning coding because I want to make my AI camera voice controlled, because there is mics on it, but I got the model that doesn't have voice control, so I want to do my own voice control for it. The reason I was hunting him was from 7600X recommendation, but he doesn't VR game, so it makes sense he wasn't aware. Yeah. 7600X, nothing wrong with it, just too pricey for the performance that you can get with other CPUs. That's why I don't recommend them. You can buy 7600X and spend $10 more and get the 9600X. Same platform. $10 more, it's worth it. You made the BeamNG server today. Nice. Next time AMD chips will be 12 cores per chiplet. No and yes. It's no and yes. They're up to 22 cores. One chiplet will have 12 cores on the top tier, and the other one will have 10 cores. I was actually right. Yep. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, we checked out the prices there. $10 more toward 9600X. Get quite a bit more performance with 9600X. Why not for $10 more? Same platform. Again, not cheap. They're not cheap, but so you can get the 265K that you have to play your game, your VR games with single core performance, more performance in that game for cheaper if you went to 265K. I'm glad you went with it. The criticism in each language is going to tell an area of the application. Python, data science, and AI, C++, Rust drivers, OS development compared to the hard tasks. See, Windows. Really? But that's it. Yeah, if you have any other questions about PC hardware and that, I'll let you know what I know about it. I do know a few things about it. It's what I do, basically. You don't have a GPU that has driver-based frame gen, so how do you know latency on controller fields? You must use lossless scaling. Because I do all the research. Gotta remember, I do all the research for this stuff. I talk to people that have with the actual manufacturers to get components from them, do all the testing before you guys, or even before I get to know about it. I do have contacts for people that have first basis hands-on on this kind of stuff. So I do all the research and I ask certain people these questions. Top overclockers in the world. Again, I'm a top overclocker in Canada, but I talk to top overclockers in the world. I know how control latency feels. I use every day. I mean, I'm not sure how bad the control latencies are nowadays. Again, I do wired stuff. I don't care about wireless. I like wired. Here for a minute. I'm sorry. It's all good. I have a 4010 Super personally hands-on. You can explain how latency feels. There is a way. Hand me some backpacks. What's up, Born? Top men? Top men? What? Top overclocker. A sec here, and I'll show you what a top overclocker does. I have hands-on experience with tons of different GPUs, CPUs, motherboards, and RAM kits from DDR2 all the way up to DDR5. Various different kind of motherboards, AMD, Intel, Nvidia, I do it all. That's how you become a top overclocker, is you got have a lot of experience in all of this stuff. Overclocking in general, RAM, so timings, frequencies, voltages, motherboards. Well, you can overclock motherboards, by the way. Overclocking motherboards, CPUs, same thing, voltage, yellow alert voltage, what applications can be better for what benchmarks is, for single core, for multi-core, for getting more performance out of your GPU, how many cores you should use on your CPU, frequencies. Same thing with GPUs. I do hard mods, so I do voltage mods, no power limit mods on GPUs. So there's another thing. Motherboards, there's ways to get more power out of your motherboards so that way you can overclock more. I am on a certain apprentice. Apprentice can go all the way up to dry ice. I do chilled water loops, but I have scores that outbeat dry ice and some liquid nitrogen runs. And then I also have air-cooled records. I have the fastest 3070 Ti in the world. I have records on my 2080 Super. I have records on 3770K. I have records on 12600K. Going to be going for world records this year on 12600K 10-core CPU world record. Going to go for a couple of them this year. There's a lot of things. A lot of things. Yeah, man. So last year I ended up being 4th place overall in Canada. I am in the best overclocker team in the world, like split with Splave. If everyone should know Splave. Splave is the #1 overclocker in the world. Sebi, Benchmark, some of the best overclockers in the world. And I talked to them about certain hardwares and what is expected out of the new hardware that I have not touched yet, or when I do explain videos on like Cam 2 RAM last year, I let people know my thoughts on it. My thoughts on it became true. That's why you don't see Cam 2 RAM, because there's been a lot of issues with it, and there's not a lot of motherboard manufacturers out there right now implementing Cam 2 RAM, because again, it's not the greatest. Today computer, my first video in 1983 was 10. Nice. And a mobile says, is that related to 6000 CL30 RAM? Yes. So also you got CPU, also manufacturers like Intel and AMD. You have to go onto their actual pages to see the actual rated speeds that you're allowed to actually go to on these CPUs. For Intel, on not their Ultra series, but like their 12, 13, 14th gen, 2 DIMMs, you're allowed up to 5600 on a single, on dual channels. 4 DIMMs of RAM, you're allowed up to 5200 megatransfers per second, but everyone was putting 6000, 7000, 8000 kits in their CPUs, and one of those issues, because voltages and other things get implemented into this. Voltages not just on the RAM, but also your CPU has voltages that go from the CPU to handle these RAMs as well. And these XMPs had really high voltages. That's why I do all these tunings manually and never had an issue. But yeah, the QVL is a QVL list, as in they tested all these RAM kits at these RAM speeds, and you can go off the QVL to check to see if your motherboard can handle it. Does not mean your CPU can handle it, but the motherboard itself can. And technically it's not under warranty if you're going past the warranty on, or what is covered by the actual CPU. On the Ultra series, you're allowed to go up to 8000 megatransfers per second now, and overclock them, like overclock them yourself using the IPO overclock. So you can overclock the CPU and have 8000 megatransfers per second RAM on the Ultra series, and that's still covered by warranty. World Nerd, that might be a good name for a channel. Yeah. How's it going, Soul? Pour some LN2 out. We need to warm up the CPU. Yeah, saw that Nvidia pretty classic fail. Yeah, now whoever bought that backpack edition is probably really cross, no doubt. But at least they're handling it right. At least they're taking care of it and replacing these GPUs for them. It just sucks that would happen. Jack of all nerds. I'm gonna chase that. Yeah, let me go to my hardware bot channel here. So here we go. Right now I'm in 11th place career for Canada. I'm gonna be hopefully top 10. I was top 10. I have to put in some more scores, but I'll show you what I mean by overclocking. There we go. Hopefully you guys can see that all right. Zoom that in for you. So hopefully you can see this all right. Yeah, got few people in the chat today. That's nice to see. Also, access my server from, yep, that's nice. Actually, it's nice to be able to do that. So that's the title of the stream, is about Nvidia no longer make GPUs. They making backpacks. Now, as a CPU or GPU manufacturer, Zotac, that compromised, and yeah, it was Zotac that got compromised, unfortunately. Bro, I read from my coding book on my live stream last night for 2 hours and even realize it's that long. Yeah, man, you can just get into it, right? Get right into it. Some of my viewers will know that if I'm going on about my PC stuff, I'm sorry if I'm not watching the chat, but I can talk about overclocking for days on end, like literally hours without checking my chat. And I do apologize if I do that. It's what I like. It's what I really like to do. I had more viewers than normal. Then I started playing Fortnite. I lost viewers. That sucks. And Nvidia is still making GPUs, just cutting down production 30% to make room for AI cards. Yeah. Up, and some places are saying up to 45% production cuts, which is crazy. Yeah, now his backbuds are worth $10,000 each. Yeah, right. Yep, I'm definitely passionate about overclocking. I want to be one of the best in the world. So again, Team WEG. That's a picture of an egg with a W on it. Team WEG, best overclocking team in the world with best overclockers, some of the best overclockers in the world. They asked me to become part of their team live on one of my streams late last year. They asked me on my stream, so I joined them up. And then, yeah, right now I'm top 11 in Canada for career since it started back in 2005. Since the Harvard bot started back in 2005, I've now become top 11. Top 10 is where I'm usually sitting, but I haven't put a whole lot in this year. Right now for season 2025, I'm 23rd in Canada. For the team, 37th Apprentice League and 96, not great worldwide. And of almost 6,000 people, 551, not great, but I'll be changing that. Last year I was top 4 in Canada. I was top 4 Apprentice League. I was top 10 last year, and then worldwide I was top 100. Yeah, not bad. We're getting there. So some stuff I've done this year: 7-zip with an i5 2400, overclocked it to almost 4 gigahertz for i5 2400. Not bad. I did delit it live on stream and then overclocked it that day. 7-zip 21,197, not bad for 7-zip. Y cruncher, I did 3770K. This is on air cooler. This is on air cooler, 4.6 gigahertz on air on a single tower air cooler, 4 heat pipes. It's pretty good, and it was not bad. Can't complain. 5 minutes, 17 seconds. Could have been better. I will be doing better soon. When I put it on chilled loop, I'll do 5.1 gigahertz or somewhere around 5.1, maybe 5.2, maybe. Cinebench R15, 535 points with i5 2400 at almost 4 gigahertz. Same thing for Cinebench R11, R20, same thing. 3.8 though, 3.8 gigahertz. 3.9 for Pi BBP, which is a new test, all CPU. So no RAM doesn't really matter. And then, yeah, I've got, so far, I've gotten 11 records. Someone beat one of my records. I did have 12. Someone beat one of my records. So I have to go back and rebeat that. 10 silvers, 15 thirds, and 31 top 5. And medals for global cups in that. I've got 1. And yeah, I'll be changing that this year. So yeah. I don't want to sit there and play game. I hear you, buddy. I hear you. Yeah, I'm all right. I'm all right. I think I can be better at it, but we're getting better at it. We're getting better as time goes. I need to get more hardware though. I have a lot of hardware, but I need more. I reckon RTX 6000 series will come after that. They will done. What? I reckon it's negative, that top number. Yeah. Haven't done it, eh? Yeah, and this is, you have to be at hardwarebot.org to actually be the top record holder or hold world records and stuff like that. Hardwarebot to proper verifications, validations, and stuff like that. There's a whole bunch of different benchmarks: CPUs, GPUs, motherboards, RAM, even hard drives as well. But I don't do hard drives. If that doesn't sell, they done? Maybe. Is everybody excited for Christmas? No, it's too far away, man. We talk about Christmas already. Yeah, it is great to talk about things that I'm interested in. Very true. NPC is going down. Boss said I need to figure out what I need. Nice. You should say you need a, you definitely need a 285K. You need an Apex motherboard. You're going to need at least 128 gigabytes of RAM. You're going to need at least 8 terabytes of NVMe storage. You're going to need at least 2 5090s. Yeah, she's adjusting really good. She was very cranky kitty when I first moved her over, but yeah, she's a lot better now, so I'm happy about that. But yeah, she's doing a lot better. Yeah, at least 2 5090s. You might need 4. And my RTX says that'll probably be Nvidia last GPUs if they don't sell. Well, they've already been talks of making the 6000 Pro X, so they're still going to be coming out with the 6000 Pro X. What programs do you have on your work computer? Yeah, well, programs, doesn't matter what programs he has. You can run them all at once. Do you mean those backpack? Just don't get the Zotac. It's Zotac that got compromised. So just to make sure you don't have any headaches on getting those backpacks, just don't get Zotac. Also, I'm thinking price on GPUs need to go lower because the price of retailers are selling. Oh, crazy. Yeah, I hear you, buddy. I hear you. Yep, I moved. New location. So happy about that. But yeah, new location. Here for 3 months, and then I got to find a new place. I had this place for 3 months. Yeah, thanks. Yeah. That's how long I got this place for. It's how long I got this place for. Till September, so I have to find a place before the end of August. It's how it goes, buddy. How it goes. Trust me, I wish I didn't have to, but I do. And the next place, as long as I can find a place for a decent price, hopefully a while. It is, yeah. Somebody's already going to be renting the room in September. They already have the place, so they just need someone here until September, which is fine. Nice big place, works for me. Yep, I did. Already talked about the move. Did packing up live on stream as well. What you doing? Want up? No, you don't want up? Why not? Yeah, come up. Come up. You still walk around? All right, cool. Cool, that's fine. Do that way. Not regular upload, just live. I did a lot of live. I didn't have enough time to be doing videos. I had to do a lot of packing up, getting things ready for the move. The game also drowning in words. Well, take it easy there, Rum. Names oneword.com. I don't think we're allowed to post links. This is on chat. No, you can't put any links in the chat. Unfortunate. Yeah, I'm gonna be making more videos here now that I have some time. I'll be making more videos. I probably won't be streaming as much, but I'll try to do my streams that I normally do. Yeah, how's it going, Korku? I remember you. Hey, you don't have to retract your message. I remember you, Korku. I was built to be a live stream PC for competition in 2017. Nice. Oh, my PC hardware. 13900K, 7200 mega transfers of RAM. The Corsair Dominant Titanium Z690 Ors Master with a custom monoblock for cooling the CPU and VRAMs. It's not VRAM, sorry, VRMs, cooling the VRMs on it. And 3070 Ti, that's one that has a lot of records on it. But yep, that's my system that I have right now, a 980 Pro 2 terabyte. And I have a whole bunch of hard drives for storage. It's slowed down. You could overclock it, and then you could also do a fresh Windows install to help things out. Worried? I mean, yes and no. Rough. It was rough. So I literally had over 120 places I messaged, and I got messages back from a total of 5. 120 places. Still can't find work. Unfortunately, still can't find work. Still trying to find work, but I can't find work. Excel is locking up. That's odd. You might need to do a refresh, reinstall Windows, which really sucks. But yeah, it's odd. Excel is locking up. Baby Ninja. Good old Baby Ninja. Yeah, it should be fine. How much RAM do you have? Do you have at least 16 gigabytes of RAM? If you have 16 gigabytes of RAM, there'll be no problem. And yeah, I guess you could try Microsoft Office Repair. Might help. Might. It's just odd that it's locking up. I mean, it's only Excel. It's only Excel, man. Yeah, if you have 16 gigabytes of RAM, Windows 11 should work just fine. That's true. That's right. That's right. You got to build this new one. Number 25090s. You're going to need a Threadripper. You need a Threadripper. What do you need for a Threadripper? No Threadripper. You're going to go with a dual epic system. Or a Xeon 6000 series. What's a Threadripper? $10,000 CPU. There's multiple different Threadrippers, but I'm going to suggest the top of the line one that costs $10,000 for one CPU. Then you're going to need the $5,000 motherboard for it. You're going to need all the RAM, so up to 1 terabyte of RAM, which should cost you right around $4,000. You have one for sale? No, I don't. It's not AMD Xeon. AMD Xeons are the epics. The Threadripper is consumer-based. It's supposed to be consumer-based, but it's so expensive. Nice. That's a decent little system. Oh, yes, that's right. You should get 2 RTX 6000 Pros. Correct. That's right, Frame. You should get 2 RTX 6000 Pros. They're only $10,000 per card. Yeah, I can rate your home PC. Have a RX 7600 XT 16 gigabyte website. I don't know what your website is. Raid Maps Monster 2 case. Yeah, jump change. Hey, you want up? All right, come on. That's not how it works. I'm not chasing you all over the place. Come on. Hey, come here. Hey, get up. Hey. Where's Emma Frost? Oh, wow. She's put away for now. Hold on, let me put my arm down so it'll flop. There you go. Hell, titty cow. Ow, flies. Ow, claws. And have LG Ultra 24-inch 144 hertz IPS. That's decent. It's decent. Make it 6,000, 6,000 with case. Might as well go big, go big. There's the one actually overclocking the PCs. You got that right. She's a genius. Welcome back, board. I'm gonna do in his voice. I have to type it here. What do you mean? Who's the voice? Whose voice am I saying? Any power for 549? Yeah, no. 490 power for 549. Yeah, 5070? No, not gonna happen. Make a CPU go 10 gigahertz by the end of the year? Nope. Nope. Unfortunately, no. We might get 9.2, maybe 9.3. Deep Cool 8K400 digital. Yep, you told me that before. I mean, it's a decent little system. Do you think an Intel GPU would be a good economical option for a work computer? Yeah, 100%. 100%. You can get an A770 16 gigabyte card for like 250, 300, maybe even cheaper used. You can get a B580 card very cheap as well, 12 gigs, but they also have really good encoders on them. I mean, yeah, you can get them good. Yeah, very cheap. Cheap. I mean, they're not technically cheap, but they're cheaper for getting good performance for workstation GPUs. And then you can do light gaming on too if you wanted. MSI? I mean, Just for basic GPU, yeah. I mean, basic system, yeah. MSI is fine. MSI, Gigabyte, Asus, ASRock, they're all fine. It just depends on the model that you're getting, right? Which dual GPUs come back and actually work like, yeah. Apparently not Intel, but a board manufacturer is coming out with, it's called a B60, and it's going to be a dual B580 GPU. A dual. So you have two B580 cores in it and up to 48 gigabytes of RAM. Of VRAM. So I mean that's pretty cool. That's if they do it. It's just more like a win or leak, not a guarantee. I do believe Gamers Nexus went about it more or less probably to maybe like help promote this card, but it's not a guarantee still. Yeah, it'll be a single card with two cores, right? Which would work technically better than having like an NV Link or a Crossfire. Yeah, and it depends on what BIOS you're more accustomed with, whether or not you go with certain motherboards as well. Yeah, I'm accustomed to so many variants, so it doesn't matter what BIOS it has. They all have basically the exact same style of what it can be done, just different names. Yep, you can get the ultra durables fairly cheap. Then you can go with ASRock. ASRock also makes cheaper boards as well, like as in the cost of them are cheap as well. Doesn't mean they're bad, just means they're more cost effective. If you're looking to do a budget oriented dash high end system, you still go with budget oriented PC parts, still put it in a high end CPU and use a high end GPU and it'll work just fine. Just you're not gonna be able to get the RAM speeds out of it. LGA 1851 for 20 more. Ooh. I mean, the Steel Legends are not bad for the price. Their Riptide technically is a little bit better of a board, but they have the same sort of components and RAM speeds like QVL. So I don't know. That's up to you on what kind of aesthetic you're looking for on that one there. If you want to spend $20 more and have that look at the Riptide, or if you like those white Steel Legend boards, there you go for $20 less. I think Gigabyte BIOS is easy to use. Yeah, Gigabyte boards are very easy to use. Very nice layouts on them. Agreed. Another combo with 265K has the Eagle Mobo 890. Yeah, the Steel Legend and the Riptide are fairly close to being the same kind of performance that you'll get out of the RAM. It's more or less the RAM they're looking at for overclockability and stuff like that. The actual like VRAMs and all that are in place on them, they're fairly similar. Like they're already over spec'd for the hardware that you're going to put into it. So it's not like there's much differences in that. What AIO do you think? I mean, cheap and works. I don't care about AIOs that much. I do have AIOs for testing, but they're AIOs. They're gonna wear out. And no problem, man. It's a work computer, so I'm thinking a dark build, even a sleeper. If you're gonna do a dark build, you're there's lots of boards out there for that. Lots of RAM kits out there for that. AIOs, tons of AIOs out there for that are dark. Fans as well, and you can get generally all of it cheaper. Asus to the tough range, which is not crazy on price on Intel. The toughs are generally not, they're like high end, but cheaper than their high end stuff. But yeah, they're good. It's just I don't like the naming military grade. It's not military grade at all. It's just certain capacitors that they're using basically in it. 250 watt. That's in some cases it can use 250 watts. It's not going to use 250 watts generally. Does he need that much CPU? Not really. I mean, not really. depends on what you're doing, though. Depends on what you're doing. Yeah, it demands good Skyrim VR. You're gonna want, again, single core performance, 265K, 285K, really good for that. And yeah, you'll see some really good frames with it. You see some specials on them? Yeah, true. Yeah, you can find deals anywhere on lots of stuff. Yeah, you need to know what CPUs are you using, see how much you can upgrade it. If there's no price limit, I can give you some options. Make myself a coffee. You know what CPU? Coffee. Yeah, you can find deals on different kind of motherboards for, and Intel is not terrible right now. They put a price down on their CPUs, on their ultras. Yeah, not the top of the line for gaming, but they still give you good frames. On certain games, they give you more frames. Yeah, they Intel price cut all of their ultras right now, and not really like their 14th high end lineup and 13th high end lineup, but you can find deals on them. Yeah, deal wise, yeah, I hear you, bud. Yeah, deal wise, you found good. So, is there something that's better for security? Depends on what you put in with it. AMD had issues with security. Intel's had issues with security. I mean, security is very, I don't know what you want. Like Intel in the past have had issues with security. AMD recent with their Ryzen CPUs, from their like beginning Ryzen CPUs all the way up. So I mean, there's a lot that goes in with security. No, not software. It's like literally the CPU itself. Water. You get some water. Yeah, not software. You can do software related, but every time you start up and like turn off and start up your PC, it does it has security based into it, randomly generates a code for it, and AMD went to the exact same code on every single CPU, and that became a security risk. So that's right built onto the CPU. Mhm. Yeah, watching over there. What do you mean? What do you mean? You should all have TPM2. Yep, yep. But that was not the issue on it. Oh, you don't want to go cheap on his PSU? No, you definitely don't want to go cheap on PSU. Some people do. Some people do. So I get coffee quick. Yeah, but what about any other CPUs? And at first, they literally had to get businesses and all of that to actually do it. Yep, chopped up. Yep. But there's a lot of people that don't know about that or even know about the issue. So again, there's always issues with CPUs, GPUs, motherboards, RAM. There's always issues. There's always going to be an issue somewhere. Security is If someone wants into your stuff, they'll get into it no matter what. Does not matter how much security you think you have. They will get into it. And again, all these people that had like businesses and whatnot that already had all of these CPUs, I mean, guess what? Well, all your information is already stored on to if they wanted the information, they already got it. When buying onto CPUs and stuff like that, you're taking a risk no matter what. There's no guarantee, man. No guarantee. Prepping, my advice: two-step verification and VPN, less chance of it. I mean, there's a ways around that too. No, if it's not running, they can't get into it. But let's say you've already used the system. Technically, if you were hacked, they already got the information they wanted. But no, you can't get into it if the power's off. Can't get into it if you're not hooked onto the internet. If you don't use the internet, you're safe. If you use the internet, well, guess what? You're never safe. You can you can copy some. You know how easy it is to copy phones. Again, if somebody wants information, they'll get it. Intel Core i7-87K 3.7. Nice. I can't complain about that, to be honest. I mean, I would love another 8700K. Yeah, it's a 6-core, 12-thread processor. You can overclock them quite a bit. You scan, update the drivers, and then I disconnected the internet. It should be fresh as a daisy. Well, that's good. Take it easy, Frame. Yep, correct. Yeah, it's not easy. It's, again, not easy, but if someone wants your information, they can get it. No stopping certain people out there. People that have the know-how, the setup to do it. There's no stopping them. There literally is no stopping them. Do you not hear about the people that hacked into the Pentagon? It's more than a two-step verification to get into that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can upgrade to a 14600K. Some that's not going to cost a fortune, give you way more performance. Like twice the performance. Let's take care of and move this back. I go, we're back. What do those numbers mean? You mean the 14600K? That's an Intel 14600K, LGA 1700. You're going to need a B760, a Z690 would work too, a Z790 motherboard. It can work with DDR4 or DDR5. So if your company wants to save some money, then go with DDR4 motherboard. There you go. Or just use the same RAM. I mean, it depends on what you need. You want me to go using floppy disk still at best? You never know. That's why I have like 30 different email addresses. You want into one of them? Fine. By all means, go into it. I don't care. I'll give you information from like 15 years ago in my life. That's about it. What's the deal on 1 terabyte drive, 4th gen right now? What's the best deal on 1 terabyte? I think it's $97, right around there, if I remember correctly. Oh, no, my apologies. It's the Patriot P400 that I was looking at, and it's $71. $71. Patriot P400 Lite M.2 for PCIe Gen 4, 1 terabyte. $71. Then the Gen 3s are like 60. So for Gen 4 for $10 more, not bad. I wouldn't go with the Kingston 1 terabyte. It is Gen 4, but I wouldn't go with the Kingston. I just don't like them. Not for NVMEs. For hard drives, no problem, but NVMEs, no. Yeah, and how much storage do you have? I think well, I'm not sure what his storage is on his work computer, but do you have a lot? Do you need a lot? She's out like a light. She's out cold. She's done for. She's done skis. She's done skis. Oh, because you could get a smaller power supply and just use an air cooler. Should be like probably like 1,000 for the whole thing. Yeah. Yeah, because you don't need a whole lot for the 14600K to cool it. Is that an RTX 2070 behind you or 3070? This? The GTX 770 EVGA SC model. When I fixed up live on stream to get it working again, had to replace a trace and voltage regulator. A couple of resistors, but yeah, that's a GTX 770. The 2080 Super that I have is right down here. $20 Super. $20 Super. Haven't had a 2070 Super yet. I've only used the 2060 Super, 2080 Super, not 2070 Super yet. 1 4 terabyte. Ooh, that's pretty good. That's quite a bit. It's good to have 2 drives, 1 for Windows and 1 free for gaming. Yep, it's very good to do it that way. In my opinion, do like a single for your Windows. You just need 128 gigabyte NVMe, SSD, whatever for that. Just keep that separate. You don't need to spend a whole lot of money for that. And then you just get whatever storage you might need for all the games. So you can get other NVMEs or SSDs, even hard drives. So you need to save some money, but NVMe and SSDs, you can pick those up and just use those for gaming. Must be mission. Nah, it's pretty easy. Pretty easy to install. No, that's why I got custom water loop. So right now, there it is. It's got the Amazon's cheapest CPU water block on it. Wow. Oh. A little dusty from the move. I cleaned it up. Amazon's cheapest CPU water block, $20 for it. Works good. It can even cool 13900K, which is nice. Custom water loop. Just 240. Pretty easy to take off these and switch it over to the 2080 Super. Not too bad. I've shown it on stream. me switching over from the custom water loop CPU to that. And it literally takes me like 10 minutes to switch it over. Doesn't take long. Solid state. Wait, Patriot, hold on. Patriot P4 1 TB SSD NVMe 4 file PS5. Yep, that's the one. Yep. Yeah, that's one of the best deals you can get, and they actually have some longevity to them. They're not like dirt cheap ones. I just don't care for the Kingston ones. If you want to spend some more money for 1 TB, Sabre Rocket makes one of the longest lasting ones, and then you go with Samsung as well. They make some of the best ones, but they cost a lot of money. You'll get a boot drive, another 4 TB storage, and everything. A couple more storage if you get. Yep. I'll go with 64 gigabytes of RAM, just be safe. So there's some storage. 14,000. Dark mode, all right. Get her done, Jason. You don't need a big PSU, but I would go with the 850. Yep. Look who's been paying attention. Look who has been paying attention. It's nice. Good job. Yes. Again, if you're going with like a 5080, 5090, you're going to want 1200 or 1300 watt power supply. Anything below that, you can go with 1,000 or 850 watt power supply and be just fine. Exactly. And there's some people that literally did all the wattage and all that, and that the system would use only like 750 watts and get the 850 watt power supply with a 5090, and it was tripping OCP. I'm like, you know, if you like watched my channel and listened, you know, 1200 watts is what you're gonna need because there's voltage spikage. Hey, if you get the backpack edition, no problem. Should be able to find a good 850 for around 100-ish. Yep. 100 and 120 for a decent one. Yep. Your IO shield is missing? Man, I have about 20 of them for various models of motherboards. They've always asked me, why do you still have that? You never know. Yep. They can be very efficient. Again, that's why I tell people you can overclock still and lower the power limit. Don't touch the voltage, lower the power limit and still get the overclock, and you're still going to see performance at lower power limit, 75 or even 80%. It can be really efficient. That's how I run it when I'm gaming. I'm running 75% of my 3070 Ti with an overclock on it. I'm glad I'm not a dude who fell for the backpack edition. There's multiple people that did accidentally got them. He found it for $64. I was only seeing it for $71, $70, $64. Nice. Yeah, the P400s aren't bad. Nothing wrong with Patriot. Nothing wrong with them. Exactly. Yeah. And saw his post, saw his Reddit post. So when the guy came in, he knew it was him. It was his Reddit post. Yep, the Titans. Yep. That's a lot of wattage. It's a lot of wattage. No doubt it is mad. 4 Titans is mad. Doesn't matter at the time. Like you can go back to the old Titans. Still having 4 of them at the time. Crazy. Yep, I hear you, man. The tired day. I'm not high. It was for mining. That is a monster. And from bread to Subway, that goes right off. Wow. She's a big kitty. She's got opposable thumbs. She was a shelter cat. She was at the shelter for the longest time, over a year. So at the time, she's technically a Christmas gift for an ex of mine. And she took a liking to me, so I have her. In case was a custom case, like a table. See, I want to do that. I want to build my PC into my desk with tempered glass. Nice. That's very nice. That'd be really cool to do. Yeah, she's a pretty big kitty. Whoa, big stretch. Mm-hmm. It would have been nice, man. It would have been really nice. Yeah, Gabby. For people that are newer to the channel, she's been on the channel before a while ago, but yeah, that's Gabby. I'll show off her opposable thumbs later on. She also has almost 20 claws on her front paws. She has a lot of claws. The whole thing was glass. Wow. I mean, all tempered glass, but still all glass. Crazy. You can do glass motherboard trays. You can. Because you can just do standoffs in the glass. Not easy to do, but you can do it. You can do it. It was on the base. What was the base made of? Like a acrylic, plexi. You didn't want to break it? Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's chances to break it. You can do it because you can get plastic standoffs, right? That would technically screw into it. Or you can just glue them in. That'd be pretty cool too. To do all glass. I mean, that wouldn't be a cheap system to build. Otherwise, on a tray and then the glass underneath. Yeah, okay. I mean, that would not be a cheap system to build, man. Yeah, I want to build a PC in a desk, but not the way people have ever designed it. My design's a lot different. Yeah, might as well go up and beyond, but yeah, you would need a lot of power supply for it. Yeah, that's why I case the table. Yeah, because of the components you would need in it. Yup. What kind of cooling did he have it? Like, was it designed for having filters or because you can't do enclosed, but I mean, did he have filters made for it? So I like to make my own filters out of nylon filters, just design them the right way. I use nylon filters, washable and cleanable. Not sure if I still have them anywhere. I have to check to see if I have a bunch of nylon filter mesh. I have to look through my stuff, see if I can find them. Wood didn't need filters because it was it was closed in glass. What? There had to have been some sort of airflow. I mean, I guess you don't technically need filters either, but filters are good to have. I would make filters. If the air went out the top from the side, yeah, it's generally how something like that would be built. into the side up to the top, which is smart way to do it. Using funnels. Okay. Oh, okay. Definitely give him a like. Is what they say. Use Dell PCs to black. Oh, 1 sec. Ah, this. Something like that. Yeah. Yeah, I had a lot of different stuff. Yeah. Yeah, photo style. Yeah. More directional air. It's nice. Nice to do. Nice to use. That's why they do use it for more directional air. Now, I know what a funnel is. I just didn't know what you're trying to talk about for that. I know what a funnel is. Multiple various different kind of funnels, but I mean, I didn't know how he would implement the funnel in it. Jeez, man. Mm. Yeah, probably. Probably designed for it, make sure it worked proper. She put the fun in funnel. Wow. The big fans, the big boy fans. Nice and quiet though, and make it nice and quiet. Nice. Still use fairly big fans. Make sure everything's nice and quiet. It's good to do. Hit about 20 fans in there. Yeah, you're gonna need a lot of fans to move all that heat. You'll want fans either open air with a fan on it, or if you do it enclosed like he did there, especially in class, you're gonna want to move air nice and quiet. Yeah, nice. For the money, it'd be a toss up between the B580 and A770. B580 definitely is better though. Thick glass, yeah, it would have to be thick glass to make a case out of it. Was he using like close to 1/2 inch thick or at least 3/8? Now you need 3/8 or 1/2 inch thick, in my opinion, from what I've worked on with glass. What I've built with glass, it's what I use, 1/2 inch generally. Oh yeah, 1920X, yeah. Those are pretty good CPUs for money at the time. They didn't use crazy amount of power, but they gave you good efficiency for what you're doing. Yeah, they were good CPUs for the time for mining. Give you enough cores, plus you can run all the GPUs off of it and then still mine off of the CPU. That's why people were using them. To have enough cores to run the GPUs and also mine off of them. So that way you're getting full usage out of whatever system you had. Lots of RAM. Holy. I mean, technically he didn't need all that RAM, but it's a lot of RAM. I mean, you can do more with it, but 256 gigs still a lot of RAM. 1 second. No, you don't need a whole lot of RAM for mine. It's just a matter about the cores, power of the cores. I mean, it's depending on what you're mining, I guess. Depends. And for mine, I think it is B580. However, I don't think you should buy it. Well, I mean, you're not going to be for a workstation. Why would you not buy it? Especially a cheap home workstation. So why would you not buy it? Especially if you're trying to save some money. Yeah, he did say workstation. Yeah, it's good. No, you could still technically game off it, but for workstation, you definitely want to go with one of them for especially price to performance. Be way better. Way better. Yep. Yep. Still do gaming out, no problem. You're just not gonna get the kind of frames that you would with other GPUs, right? And those GPUs are gonna cost 2 to 3 times the amount. Yeah, they're not. It's not as optimized in games. Still not as optimized. Yeah, still very new. Nothing wrong with the GPU itself, just not as optimized right now, unfortunately. That is what it is. Things change over time. I think they just did some more work with the issue recently. No, well, even if you wanted to, you still can, especially Fortnite. Fortnite's super easy, more CPU oriented. So it'd be no problem. pair B580 with 1200F and it was slow. It depends on what you're playing. And it's still not a bad pair up, but I mean, it shouldn't be slow. What games, though? It also depends on the game. Depend on the game. Yeah, the 1% lows aren't the greatest, but again, driver optimization still. Yeah. There's a lot of, yeah, even all new GPUs have some issues with older CPUs. It's optimization. Yeah. In some games, yeah. But not for productivity. And not productivity. Yep. Would be. Yeah, the raw specs of it. Especially for the encoder, decoder. Again, AMD with their newer stuff as well, they update a lot of stuff on that, but still not as good as Intel in that regards, especially for the price to performance for workstations. It doesn't compare. The B580 will crush it. It'll crush a 1060. Yeah, there's a lot of 2017, so old. 8 years old now, so yeah, I would definitely crush a 1060, even in gaming. Plus 12 gigs versus 6 gigs. Uh, maybe. Let's go on Dave Jones with a S3 Trio 2. Asking for a friend. No, it would not. Asking for a friend. No, 1060 would still win. Of course. I mean, 1060 was not a bad card for the time. It really was not a bad card for the time. It was on top of the charts for Steam survey as well for the longest time. Now the 4060 is on top of the charts again. Like over 250,000 people on Steam are using 4060s, either the 4060s graphic, like desktop graphics, or laptops. A lot of them are laptops. But the 4060 right now is top charts. Literally more people have bought the 4060 than all of AMD cards, all of 9000 series AMD cards. More 4060s than AMD cards 9000 series. Wild. So, like, and yeah, it's been a good year for AMD. It's been a really good year for AMD, but they still have not sold a lot. Yeah, the prices of them are just wild though, man. They're actually wild. Yep. Getting 4060s new here in Canada are over $600. So finding a 4060 Ti, you're looking over $700, man. Might as well go with a 50 series card at that price point. RX 7600 XT is usually ROCM for the CUDA. It's still new. Things get changed over the months, over the years. Generally, it's within a few months to 6 months down the road, things will get changed drastically for new stuff. Drivers, right? Driver support, optimizations for games, whatever productivity that you're using it for. Big time. Apparently the 96 XT blows away the 7600 XT and everything. Yes, it does. Well, no, not everything, to be honest. Not everything. 95% of the stuff I do believe they're saying. Not everything though. Not everything. The 9060 XT actually on some tests, what they're saying was 4 tests. I have to see what the tests were. On 4 tests, apparently, the 9060 XT compared to the 7800 XT. The 7800 XT. Now that's pretty wild. But the 9060 XT, yeah, it beats the 7600 XT by 10 to 20% in most tests. Most tests. 10 to 20%. It's pretty wild. Which is good, right? That's what you want to hear. Yeah, just because it's PCI. Even if you put the 9060 XT in PCI Express 4.0, it still beat it. It's due to the actual like architecture, the new ray tracing cores, the new everything that they implemented into the 9000 series. It just outbeats the 7000 series just that much more. It's not 30% slower. Where are you getting these numbers? Where are you getting these numbers? Oh, sorry. My apologies. Yeah, the 7600 XT. Yeah, is slower than the 7800 XT. Yep. I'm rocking chips and technology 512 2D graphics. I run Cyberpunk at 1 frames per second 10 years ago on 50p, everything on low. At least you tried. But you will find out. Not sure if you can be finding much things cheaper, buddy. I'm pretty sure you won't. For 350, you could have held on to it and probably sold it for 450 now. You're gonna be building the dual 5090. Have a good stream, man. Yeah, take it easy, Dave. Have a good night. You gotta build a dual 5090 backpack. It's gonna cost you a lot of money for that backpack there, buddy. Careful of the power. I don't know if you can handle that kind of power. Got 330. That's pretty good. I hear you there. $309. Wednesday here. Canadian, it's $780. $700. $400 for the cheapest ones so far. $400. That's US though. That's also US that I'm seeing. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot more than that Canadian. Everywhere is out of stock too for 385. It's all out of stock though. Everything else that's in stock is like $700 Canadian. Maybe I'll build it into a golf cart. Why not, right? I don't know if it went up again. Everywhere that I saw for like $400 is sold out on eBay, and all the other ones that are still there are like $650, $700. Some are even $900, but no one's buying them at that price. I mean, I wouldn't. I hope people aren't buying them at that price. As last week, yeah, well, everywhere that I'm seeing that's sold out for those prices. PC part prices are like an active volcano. Yeah, I hear you. 5060 or B580 for gaming. Not the B580. 5060 might have been a special. Maybe it might have been a special, but there's no more special. They're all bought out. This might have 57 for 550, same as Walmart, but in stock. There you go. If you want to look for 5070, 550, boom. For productivity with the 5060 be as good as for productivity? No. I mean, it depends on what you're doing, but the B580 will be it for productivity. Yeah, the B580. That looks like it'd be way better. I mean, even the 5060 Ti 8GB is slower than the B580 in gaming, so productivity, for sure. It could be better for the B580 than the 5060. May have to put it on a card. Yeah, the B580 is nothing wrong with it. You see these influencers and creators saying stuff about the B580 that's no good. That they're saying it's no good for gaming. It's not that it's bad for gaming. It's just some games are not optimized for it yet, and there could be better driver support, better drivers that come out in the future that will be a lot better too. But it's still better than the 5060 Ti. The B580 does outbeat the 5060 Ti 8GB. So yeah, look at it that way. And at the price point, I mean, that's good. 192, yep. Bus bit width, yep. And that's where productivity comes into play for that kind of performance. You're going to look for higher bus bit width. You're going to look for higher ROPS on Nvidia side for ROPS more or less, but you go look for higher ROPS. For texture mapping units, that's for more like gaming and stuff like that. But you gotta go at that. For productivity, you gotta look at encoders and decoders and the hardware that's actually on the card, not the actual chip itself, but the hardware as well. All cinemas are closed. All the cinemas here are closing down. Wow, because everyone's buying big TVs. Well, the big TVs are coming down in price. Some that would cost $3,000, you can pick them up for like $500-$600 now. There was a 16 VRAM GPU. Maybe they have a 16 gigabyte one. Might be from certain AIBs, but I mean, all I know the B580 is 12 gig. Oh, the A770 is 16 gig. Yeah, the A770. The B580, I'm pretty sure they've only made 12 gig models from the last time I checked. Yeah, just 12 gig for the B580. And then, yeah, 16 gig for 770. Nothing's changed then for that. I think it also, people don't go because they have one at home. Very true. Seven series. What do you mean? 7 series. This the Arc series. The Arc 770 is the 16 gig. 12 gig B580. And B580 is 12. I have a good night, man. Thanks for stopping by. It is. The B580 is better. Not a whole lot better, but it is better. Yeah, not a whole lot better, but it is better. Even though it's only 12 gig, it is better. Not a huge amount. We're putting work in, bro. Definitely are. I mean, there are some tests where the B580 is 20% better than A770, but majority of tests, it's not that high. It's like 5 to 8% better. Insane price point, though. No, you can still buy new. You can still buy them new. It's just certainly not certain retailers, right? Amazon has a bunch of them, but they're more expensive, of course. Actually, they're about the same price. B580 and the A77 are around the same price on Amazon. Certain retailers are having new. Dried up? It wouldn't be dried up. Still work just fine. You didn't have to repaste it. Paste also dries out by heat, right? So if it's stored in the box sealed, it'll be fine. It'll be fine, okay? It'll be just fine. Yeah, I have a cat. Had her for since 2018, 2019. 2019 or 2018. Ended 2018, I think. Yeah, and her, yeah, it's Gabby. She's a rescue cat. Was a gift for an ex, but she got a liking to me, so I have her after we separated. Yeah, my mom's been taking care of her since I have just found a place now, like an actual place. So last place couldn't have her, so my mom's been taking care of her, and now I got her back. It did take her all last night to get more used to the place, but now she's not as cranky. She's happier now, so she's good. So yeah, she's got opposable thumbs. She's a rescue cat. Yeah, yeah. Want to say hi? You want to say hi? Say hi to them? No? Okay, fine. No. Oh, you want patents? Okay, you're gonna need some patents. Hi. What? Anything else? What would you like? What would you like? I don't know. That it? You done? Anything else? You happy? After that? Okay. Yep. Yep. Had her for many years now. Yeah, she was a rescue kitty. If you go back to like older videos of mine, like older videos, some live streams, you can see her. She made the editing a longer process back in the day. Yeah, she's a very good kitty. Apparently she had a bit of a temper after we were separated for a bit there. Yep, she's Calico. Calico, opposable thumbs. So she has opposable thumbs. She's a polydactyl. That's what she is. She has many claws growing out of each toe. Yes. She's a pain in the butt. Yes, you are. You come say hi? He's gonna lay there in a slump. Talking to you, Gabby. Don't ignore me. I'll come over there. I'll come over there. She's gonna lay there in a slump. She's ignoring me. The temperamental? Nah, she's trained like a dog. She sits, shakes both paws, lays down, comes when she's called usually. She's just moved, so it's a big move for her. So yeah, she's a little bit of we want to call it in a mood. She's in a mood. She's coming a long ways overnight though, so that's good. But yeah, she's in a bit of a mood just because of the move. You gonna come over and say hi? Why are you in the swamp? Why don't you come say hi? No. She's in a slump. I'm matter. Should matter. Punched a man. Oh, I just heard. Yeah. All right. That's all right. Yeah. I'm saying all right. I'm coming over here. Hmm? Oh, the warrant. If you're just gonna keep looking over here, why don't you come over here? Fine, be that way. Yeah, she's the computer kitty. She's a very good kitty, though. Very good. Very smart. Uh, Come over here. You come over here. You come say hi. No. Yes. No. You tired? Fine. I see you. Soon. Hi. Yeah, she is a pretty big kitty too. She's a pretty big kitty. I'm gonna see if there's any other kind of news that's anything good to talk about Can't find anything yet. So that'd be 760. Would that be enough? Well, yeah. That's why I said, that's why I did suggest to be 760. Yeah. It'd technically work all the way up to 1400K technically. Yep, yeah. No problemo using one of them. Let's save some money, right? Save quite a bit of money. I got the CPU GPU motherboard. It's at 769. 69. Nice. Nice. All right, sounds good. I might be ending this stream here though. Might be back on later. We'll see. We will see. Hopefully you have a good dinner, man. Hope you have a good dinner. All right. Again, as always, thank you to my viewers, subscribers, and donators. You guys are helping out this channel more than you know. Hopefully we got some more talk about tomorrow. I'm going to try to have an earlier stream tomorrow. Going to be hopefully on the other system, the other streaming system that I built earlier this week. And we'll see what I can do. So that way I can take apart my main PC, show the components, and do some testing on that. So again, as always, don't forget to get her done. Peace.